do not disagree with you about awareness and consciousness is the key in understanding any of our emotions and implementing, if you will, the proper way to use those emotions. But the thought of being aware of yourself all the time just seems like a horrible burden to people casually listening to someone saying, well, you just need to be aware. And I would say, for me personally, it hasn't been a burden. It's been pretty easy most of the time, because the more, if I become aware of something and I can understand something, then I can move away from that what you resist persists mode, and I can stop butting my head against that thing, and I can live life with more ease because I took a look at it.
Yeah. Well,
So it's not like I'm going through life all the time going, I'm aware of everything. Oh my God, I'm a horrible person. It's not that way at all.
Right. Well, and I agree that when we're talking about consciousness and awareness, and the way that I put it is, when you become aware of something, right? It's sort of like if you've been doing something a certain way your whole life, and somebody came up to you. Case in point, actually, I got a story. When I first got into DJing, I'm a computer guy and I'm a DJ that DJs music. So when I first got into DJing, I was a karaoke host, and I was hosting karaoke for a guy here in Victoria, and he said, "Hey, I've got a DJ gig. Did you want to do a DJ gig?" And I said, "No, that shouldn't be hard." So he showed me how to do the switch the CDs back and forth and do the whole DJ thing. And it's cool. So I did a wedding, and I did it really well. I got a $50 tip, which at the time that I started was actually a pretty substantial tip. But I hated switching the CDs back and forth and hunkering over my table, and it really hurt my back because I have lower back issues. So I'm like, okay, give me all your CDs. I ripped them and I put them on a computer, and I found a program that was able to mix these things and do all of this stuff. So I progressed in like one gig. I progressed DJing from that platform to another platform that I was familiar with. I went back and I talked to this guy, and I said, "Hey, you're going to want to do this. This is so much simpler. You don't have to worry about queuing up the next CD to the right song. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff like that takes up 3/4 of our time as DJs. You don't have to worry about that." And he said, "Oh, no. I'm so used to doing the CD thing. It's the way that I've always done it." Now, when somebody tells you something like we're doing now, it's really hard to imagine it physically for yourself, how that can save time. So it was about a year later, he came into one of the gigs that I was doing for him. And I was out in the audience, I was talking to some people, and the song that was currently playing was about to switch. And he was freaking out because
you weren't up at the DJ.
Because I wasn't up at the console doing anything. And the song was about to switch, and he's like looking back and forth between me and the thing going, should I go up and help him and cue the next song? When it automatically started to play and go into the next song, and people were on the dance floor still dancing, and I was still over there talking to somebody, and he was like blown away.
Now I get it, he said.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's and now I get it. And he got onto the computer immediately after that. Saved him, 50% of his time, and all of a sudden he is in a really, really good space, and it made his life move faster. And that's what we're talking about right now. The awareness of these words that we use: fear, love, anger, courage. They're all of the stuff that we're going to tackle through this, and that awareness that comes with it. I cannot tell you, and just like you were saying, You cannot explain to somebody adequately enough to say that it's not something that you're going to be, oh, I'm going to be aware of everything and thinking of everything, and I have to think of everything all the time, and it's just going to take up all my time. And because we see that and we say that as we're moving in, like the old DJ did. He said, no, I'm so used to this. This is the way that it should be. I'm fine. It's fast. It's great for me. And somebody comes along and says, well, hey, this awareness thing, because you and I have been doing it for a long period of time, of course, it's such a habit that we don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah. The analogy that I like to use is things like fear and guilt are putting your feet in cement, facing backwards. Mm-hmm. The only view you have is your fear and your guilt and your past. So you are missing out on what's in front of you. Mm-hmm. So if you can get yourself to move past those things, then the world opens up.
Well, and I agree.
Your options are there.
This show in what it was designed to do is be able to show you how to be more aware of what you're doing now, so that you have those options, right? You didn't even know you had those options before, right? Right. All of a sudden you watch the show and maybe you only get one thing out of it. Maybe you only get this one little tidbit that fits into your life right now that goes click, and you have that revelation in your life that says, oh, I've been doing this for that. And then once you understand that you have that option, then you go, oh, how do I change this? And then you go and look up whoever's book that talks about changing fear into courage, or, whatever that is. You can take this information that you get from this show and start to move forward in those areas. And because without the awareness, you didn't even know it existed. And the awareness that I'm trying to get people to have in their lives is, I'm not telling you how to do it. I'm not telling you where to go with it, but to be aware of it gives you options that you didn't have before.